Hi. Today I want to talk to you about how we are handling rent collection in the current environment. Now, there's a couple things that are important to know. One, there's been a plethora of new regulations that have rolled out over the last 3 weeks, and not all of them line up perfectly. So the issue is that we have the federal government, we have the state government, and then local governments. All of them have imposed their own rules and regulations regarding moratoriums on eviction. Now, from the federal level, we have seen Congress enact a rule that is a 120-day moratorium on evictions. Now, what that means is that nobody is going to be allowed to pursue evictions for 120 days for non-payment of rent. Now, some of the states have also imposed a similar rule. In many cases, it's been a shorter time horizon, or the time horizon is undefined. But they seem to be fairly in agreement with that. Where things start to change is when you get into individual cities. And this is where some cities have gone the extra mile in areas where they've said, no, you can't terminate tenancies not just for non-payment of rent, but also for any other reason, whether that be cause or no cause at the end of a lease. So some of them are more restrictive. If you have questions about that, you're going to want to reach out to your property manager directly so they can inform you about your particular city. Now, when it comes to rent collection, one thing that we've done has been communicating consistently to the residents on multiple fronts that the rent for April and beyond is still due. This is not a situation where there's a rent waiver. This is an eviction moratorium, meaning the action that you as the owner are able to take in the event someone does not pay has been basically put on pause. And so that gives them a sense of security that they're not going to lose their home during this time. Now, that doesn't mean, again, that they don't have to pay the rent. So one of the things that we've done is we've sent out surveys as well and found out that a good chunk of the tenants are able to pay April's rent. Some of them can't, but a lot of them can. We are starting to see those numbers, if they're thinking about May, fall down or fall off quite a bit more. And this is simply because I think there's a lot of uncertainty and people haven't gotten their stimulus checks yet. People aren't sure where unemployment stands because there's been a bit of a backlog. But nonetheless, we are basically seeing that we are having a good dialogue with residents. So one of the things that we've done to simplify the process is giving them 4 different payment options. And they're going to select one of those payment options, and our goal is to get them to pay April's rent in full, ideally on the 1st, but before the end of the month. And this is really one of the best situations that we can do, given that the tool we usually have to prompt payment or to enforce payment has been put on pause. That's been put on pause from the federal level to the local level and even through the court system. Now, for you as the owner, you may be wondering, well, what do? I have a mortgage I have to pay. One of our recommendations at this time is to reach out to your lender directly. You're going to want to find out if they can work with you. Most of them will be able to work with you. And every day it seems like new lenders are coming out with programs to help work with borrowers. Now, it's important to keep in mind that the CARE Act that Congress passed, whether talking about moratorium or forbearance on loans, really only applies to FHA, Fannie, and Freddie Mac loans. You may not know who owns your loan. It's not a problem. Most people don't. That's why we say to contact your lender. Again, the person who is sending you the monthly statement. Now, just because someone's sending you the monthly statement doesn't necessarily mean that they own the mortgage. They may just be the servicer. So that's important to keep in mind. But in any case, this is what we're doing to move forward in terms of collecting rent. And we've set up payment plans, and we've been in communication with the residents. And if you have any specific questions, I definitely encourage you to reach out to your property manager. Thank you.